I rise today to cut any part of this big, ugly bill that would force rural hospitals to limit their services or actually close their doors. I have released a list of more than 300 rural hospitals across the country at risk of closing or stopping services because of any major cuts to Medicare and Medicaid. Today, that's what Republicans are guaranteeing. With a $1 trillion cut to our healthcare system they would create in this bill. My Republican colleagues' so-called Medicaid Cuts Replacement Fund is like giving aspirin to a cancer patient. It is not enough. It is pathetically inadequate to deal with the health care crisis Republicans are creating here today on the Senate floor. No billionaire tax break or Donald Trump pat on the back is worth the risk of people's lives. Vote yes on this motion. Stop these health care cuts.
We all acknowledge that 75% now of federal spending is what we call mandatory spending, entitlement programs, things that Congress doesn't annually appropriate for. And it continues to grow at an uncontrollable rate. In fact, the growth in the rate of Medicaid spending in the last 5 years has been 50%. That's not sustainable. We know that's not sustainable. And in the time I've been here, we have never, ever done anything to reform and improve and strengthen these programs that are growing at an unsustainable rate that will wreck our economy and wreck our country if we don't start making some changes. And so, yes, there are some improvements and reforms to Medicaid to make it more efficient, to make sure that the people who are supposed to benefit from Medicaid do, and that it doesn't go to people who shouldn't benefit from Medicaid. Now, most of the increase in spending...
I would love nothing more than you to prove me wrong. I would love nothing more for you to tell me it's not $26 billion or $30 billion, that it's $2.6 billion or $2 billion or $200 million. But after 3 different attempts for them to discredit our estimates, the day before yesterday, they admitted that we were right. That between the state-directed payments and the cuts scheduled in this bill, there's a reduction of state-directed payments. And then there's the reduction of the provider tax. They can't find a hole in my estimate. So what they told me is that, yeah, it's rough, but North Carolina's used the system. They're going to have to make it work. All right. So what do I tell 663,000 people in 2 years or 3 years when President Trump breaks his promise by pushing them off of Medicaid because the funding's not there anymore, guys?